everything. Once you're poisoned from your gallbladder or your liver, it's amazing what it can affect.
Okay, so what? Can you introduce yourself?
My name is Sherry Violini.
Pleasure to meet you, Sherry Violini.
Meet you too, Mark.
So what made you want to? What was happening in your life before you did the liver and gallbladder flush?
Well, I was feeling very terrible, weak, sick, flu-like symptoms. I was having a lot of pains in my right side under my ribs. I was having pain in my sternum. I went from doctor to doctor, specialist to specialist, spent thousands of dollars. Doctors were telling me you have acid reflux, you have hiatal hernia, you have irritable bowel, but nobody could ever tell me why or what I could do to fix it. So finally it got so bad that, this is embarrassing, I was in bed, every body part was shutting down. I was wearing diapers, I couldn't breathe. I went from 125 to 130 up to about 189, 190. Just had no quality of life, was literally dying. And I watched Dr. Oz one day, and he explained about the gallbladder, showed a diagram, told you what symptoms you'd have if you had a bad gallbladder. So I went to the hospital. They rushed me to emergency surgery. My gallbladder had rotted. It was encrusted in scar tissue. It had given me severe toxemia throughout my whole body, which was giving me all those symptoms. So now here I am with no gallbladder. The Western doctors send me home and tell me, oh, that's all we can do for you. I asked them about my liver, since knowing that the liver was connected to the gallbladder and the ducts and everything, they assured me I'd be fine. Well, for about a year I was fine. After that, all the symptoms came back. I was feeling miserable again. Called my doctor. They told me I couldn't talk to him because I didn't have a referral. And I said, well, wait a minute, you're the doctor that did my surgery, why wouldn't I be able to talk to him? I never have really liked Western doctors. I've always been more of a naturopath, go on the natural path. And so I went to the library. I found this book here, The Liver and Gallbladder Miracle Cleanse. Saved my life. I did the procedure of the liver flush. And this is me without even having a gallbladder. I did the liver and gallbladder miracle cleanse, an all-natural at-home flush to purify and rejuvenate your body by Andreas Moritz, M-O-R-I-T-Z. Followed that. I got thousands of stones out after I did the prep. The prep is about a week of drinking apple juice, 36 ounces of apple juice. I added a little cranberry in with mine to help with my liver and bladder. No, excuse me. With my
I think you're correct, bladder for the...
my bladder and my kidneys.
Yeah, because the raspberry cleans out, I believe, like
cranberry.
infections. The cranberry, it does infections in the urinary tract, if I remember straight.
So the apple juice you drink along with almost a gallon of water every day. So really, I was too full with all the liquid to eat much food, but you are allowed to have vegetables, no dairy, no meat. There's a lot, no butter. There's a lot of things that you can't have, but it is all explained in this book or on his website.
In the back of the book, you pointed someone out that they recommended to potentially be a resource to help out, correct?
Yes, that she is I call her my guru savior. Her name is Robin. She's from the Annapurna Center for Self-Healing. And again, her name and number and contact information is in the book. And she guided me through it. We did a little bit different off the procedure of the protocol in the book. Followed it pretty close, but a little bit we did different.
What was different about it?
Well, she recommends a colonic before and after the cleanse. During the prep, she's very strict on what you eat. Like I said, I didn't eat hardly anything because I was so full from all the liquids I had in me. But the difference was I did a colonic before and after. I did green tea enemas. Instead of regular coffee enemas, she suggests either the lightest roast coffee or green coffee is what she would suggest would be the best. I don't know the reason for the green
and
coffee.
this is how to help basically clear up the the pathways and
Yes.
allow the to really freely flow out as many gallstones as possible.
Any waste, any garbage that's in you from your throat down, they want cleaned out. So you are drinking all the liquid, you're taking the enemas, you're doing the colonic. So but by the time you get to the actual cleanse itself after the prep, you don't have anything left in you to poo out. So you're basically only pooing stones if you have stones.
Yeah, absolutely.
Gets a little graphic, but that's what this is all about. So it's pretty clean once you get to the point that the stones are coming out, because there's nothing else in there to come out. And I had thousands of them, and if I could, I'd like to read you a letter. It might explain a little bit to you. The letter thanking Robin for helping me through the cleanse.
Absolutely. Just in addition to that, you recommend the colonic for people that probably have had a harder fast food westernized diet, like harder. You know, it's not required. You know, you were going through some.
Poisoned.
You were extremely poisoned. Okay.
Extremely.
So it's not necessary. Is that correct?
I don't know. According to Robin, it is necessary, but I know a few people who have done it by doing at home. But you have to be vigilant and do your enemas at home.
Okay.
And I know a lot of people don't like to do enemas. I had never liked to do enemas. I don't like to do enemas.
Yeah.
It's not something that I'll get addicted to the coffee enemas or anything like that. But there is a time and place when you need to do things like that to purify your body. And without it, I just don't think it would have worked for me, but especially without an enema. You definitely have to do the enemas to cleanse yourself out.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
It worked for me. I mean, this saved my life. I've now lost 45 pounds. I've got 25 to go, but I'm feeling like a new woman. Let me read this letter to you.
Yes, ma'am.
And it is to Dear Robin. Let me get my eyes on so I can see. I would like to thank you for your wisdom and gentle guidance with the liver and gallbladder cleanse. Let me tell you, it truly was a miracle. Just the amount of stones that came out blew my mind. They started out the size of coffee grounds, then kitty litter, then green peas. The big ones about the size of a raspberry. The color of the stones varied, the smaller ones being grays and tans. The pea-sized ones were either green or yellow, and the big ones were yellow. Enclosed, I'm sending some photos. They'll blow your mind. I'll let you guys see them too. With every stone that was released, I felt better, stood up straighter, and I didn't even know I was all hunched over. The ache and stabbing pain in my right side were gone, along with the backache. I am so much more flexible in the torso region. My body bends. Yoga, yay! And I can breathe again. I could go on and on. Just let me say, I found it life-changing, and I am looking forward to my next cleanse, striving to be stone-free. My life has changed, and I thank you so much, and I feel so much full of energy and rejuvenation. Before the cleanse, I felt like an old woman, and now I feel 25 again. My true age is 50. And again, thank you for sharing your knowledge with me. Peace be with you, Cherie. And I can't thank her enough, or this book, for just saving my life. I'm back to doing things again, back to gardening, back to crafting, back to planning vacations instead of a funeral. I was telling my daughter where certain papers were hid and this and that, and she's like, Mom, you're not dying. And I said, Janae, yeah, I am dying. And I truly, in my soul, from the bottom of my heart, think I would have been dead by now if I hadn't have done this cleanse. So I recommend it to anyone who has problems. You don't even have to feel pains, but I did. I felt severe pains. But anybody who's had a garbage diet, who's living the American lifestyle, who's eating this genetically modified food, who's eating fast food, who's eating processed food, our country's killing us. That's all I can say. We have to take our health into our own hands. The Western medical doctors, I don't think, know what they're doing. That's why they're practicing medicine. I think I totally believe in the Eastern philosophy, and that we have to take our health into our own hands and figure out what's wrong with our own bodies and investigate and figure out for ourselves what's going on. This may not be for everyone, but for me, it definitely was a life-saving experience. And I have one more cleanse to do. On my second cleanse, I did it. I got no stones. I'm starting to feel a little pain again. So I do need to do my third cleanse. What happens is in the back of your liver, it's like little shelves and the stones are in the back, move forward and those come out and you cleanse them out. And the ones in the back may not get to come out, but by the time it's time for your next cleanse, they move out again. You should do 3 cleanses, and if you get 3 cleanses, or what was it, Mark? You might know, 2 or 3 with no stones.
Exactly. You do one until you don't have it anymore, and then you do it one more time. Exactly, and then after that, you want to do it periodically.
Once a year maintenance to make sure, but you do the cleanse again after just to make sure until there's no stones released, correct?
Shuri, I just want to say thank you so much for being honest. I know this was a very private thing in your life, and being able to share this with other people, all we, tell me if I'm wrong, but I think all we really want to do is, help make other people healthier.
Definitely. And we've got to educate people out there. Absolutely. Because the doctors are not educating us about it. And if these hippie guru doctors, as they call them, know about this, why don't these highly educated doctors know about this stuff? I mean, it just blows my mind that they won't tell us about this. Or are they ignorant that they don't know? Or do they not want it to? I don't know. It blows my mind.
When you get taught a certain way for a long time, we have to ask ourselves, the people that are in schools for 35 years, are they the most educated in our society, or are they the most indoctrinated in our society?
I agree with that.
So thank you again, and I appreciate it.
Thank you for letting me share my experience.